Yo, what's going on, guys? It is Foxy98 here. Welcome back to a brand new F1 2017 career mode video for you guys today here on my channel. Today we are back for round 6, which is the Monaco Grand Prix. And we start things off with Chris coming over to us with a slight cause of concern, and that is due to the development comparison. And for the first time this season, both Ferrari and Mercedes have actually made upgrades heading into this Monaco Grand Prix, sending them further away from us in the championship, making it a lot harder to catch up to them. However, I'm not too concerned about that. I've got other plans of my own to try and catch back up. But anyway, as you can see, we're having a look then at the R&D tree and seeing where we want to go with things. And it's definitely down to the core competency, which I need to look at. And overall, I need to focus on the powertrain. Yes, I have an ultimate upgrade coming, but that's really going to only affect the fuel efficiency, not the straight line speed. So as you can see, we are 2 perfect practice programs away from getting the first simultaneous development, which is exactly what I need. So I just need to get 2 purples in this set of practice programs, which we are almost guaranteed to get, which is absolutely brilliant. So we start things off then with the track acclimatization test, and we come across the line to get the maximum points there and get a purple score. We just need one more now for simultaneous development. In towards the tyre wear test then, and as you can see, coming towards the start finish line now, getting very, very close to the purple, but it isn't going to be enough. It's only going to be a green, but overall, I actually felt very, very comfortable in the Red Bull around Monaco. I didn't feel particularly fast, but the car was just absolutely planted to the circuit. There was no sliding. In fact, it almost was like I was almost turning in too early for corners and then smashing into the wall that way rather than any other way. But yeah, I felt very comfortable in the car. Not quick, like I said, still was slower than the Ferrari and Mercedes is, but I was definitely comfortable. As you can see, the massive core competency progress that we needed of simultaneous development is finally here, which now means that we can upgrade two parts of the same area. So now we can upgrade another part of the powertrain whilst we wait for the other one to come along. We can now start upgrading other parts of the powertrain, which is absolutely crucial, and we do need that massively. So yeah, really happy about that. But now we need to focus on the next part, which is obviously the session goals, which we're obviously going to be getting because Emma's going to talk about them. So she wants us to qualify 5th or above and beat Sebastian Vettel, which we should be able to do around Monaco. You know, Monaco technically is the easiest track, people say. Well, I beg to differ. Quite frankly, Monaco is the worst track on the calendar and should never exist, but that's just my opinion compared to others. Anyway, then, coming into Q1, then, as you can see, Vettel sets the fastest time for 1 minute 11.2. We come across the line to set a 1 minute 11.9, which is unfortunately quite a long way off the pace, and we are down in 5th place, but at the moment, beating the objectives, which is obviously what we need to be doing. And now into Q2 we go. As you can see, Vettel with a 1:11 flat, and I don't believe this was a very fast lap time for myself. It was a 1:11.9 again. So whilst Vettel gets faster, we're unfortunately getting slower, and Sergio Perez out-qualifies us in Q2, which was very concerning. And I now really need to think about where I'm going to go. It's Q3 then, coming towards the start-finish line. This is it. The checkered flag is out. Sergio Perez with the fastest lap. But of course, Sergio obviously will have to set something a little bit different than that. And across the line, it is P5 for the Monaco Grand Prix, which is a very decent qualifying session. We could have been better, but once again, we set a 1 minute 11.9. We just couldn't improve on a 1:11.9. We were so consistent on that lap time. I just couldn't go any faster, and I remained nearly a second off the pace, which is worrying around Monaco. But nonetheless, you know, what more can we do in these stages? You know, I gave it everything I could, just couldn't seem to find the time. I was just so consistent that I just couldn't find the time anywhere else to improve. So anyway, before we get into the Monaco Grand Prix, we're going to make a couple of changes then over on this front. So over to the upgrades now. We're coming over to the powertrain, and we're going to be making an upgrade to the pistons over on this side, which will then give us that major upgrade that we want to work on for the powertrain, because pretty much for this season, it's just working on the engine, really. I mean, the other part, everything else on the car is fine. Once we've got enough speed, then we can work on the other elements. But I want to make sure that I get the, I've got that upgrade now, which will come for Azerbaijan. And then I want to try and get an upgrade that will hopefully get in for the Italian Grand Prix, because I mean that one, the major upgrade is a 4-week upgrade period. So hopefully maybe by like the Japanese, either the Italian or like the Japanese Grand Prix that time around, then we can get those powertrain ones in. Then we can start focusing on chassis and aerodynamics come the end of the season to give us a little bit of a boost. But really, we're really good in the corners we just don't have any straight line speed, and it does cost us a lot. But anyway, into the race then. It's going to be a nice dry race. We're going to be starting on the ultra softs and doing a one stop to super softs. We don't need to go on to multiple strategies here. Simple one stop. It's Monaco. There's no tire wear. Anyway, we're on the grid now. We've got 5 red lights here, and it is lights out. We go here to start the Monaco Grand Prix. A decent start for us, actually. A much better start from the top 4, and in towards turn 1. We're going to go down the inside here of Kimi Räikkönen, making the move stick. We're going to give him a little bit of space there, but eventually we get the move done on Kimi Räikkönen up into 4th place. A cracking start for us in this Monaco Grand Prix. Already taking over one of the Ferraris, but Hamilton leads this race, and he is already shooting off into the distance. Bottas in 2nd here. Onto lap 4 of the Grand Prix now. We're closing up to Vettel here, who's actually going a bit wide here in towards Tabak. He's taken a horrible line in there, gone very defensive, and we've closed up now into the swimming pool section. You're going to go for it down the inside here. Vettel locks up. We've hit the wall though. Vettel cuts the chicane. We have to get the place back, and in towards Raskas, going to dive it. Yet again, super close to the wall there, and Räikkönen now coming in on the action, and a great little scrap to myself and Vettel there in towards the Raskas corner, and we're up into 3rd place now. Bottas is in 2nd, but a lovely little bit of battle in there between me and Sebastian. He obviously went wide. He took a very strange line into Tabak that we're coming through now, and into the swimming pool, compromised him a little bit, and then obviously we made that move into the chicane. We saw a break, and we hit the wall there, but this time around, we've actually got a puncture here on lap 15. We've scraped the wall, and we have got a puncture, and we're going to have to come into the pits here on lap 15. That is really bad backing coming out here, and straight into the pits, and we've got a puncture, as I was talking about the incident, the attack with Vettel. But in terms of this puncture, luckily for me, this was actually the lap I was meant to be pitting. This lap, no matter if I had that puncture or not, I was actually going to come into the pits, but into that chicane, the high-speed chicane in which we made a mistake with Vettel, I just scraped my wheel on the side of the barrier, and unfortunately it punctured the tyre. But I was luckily, because that part is then just so slow speed, I didn't really lose any time, to be honest, from getting that puncture. But lucky escape there. That could have ripped the suspension off at the front front left. But luckily it didn't, so we can carry on. But a very close shave there. Luckily we only just got a puncture rather than anything else. On to lap 34 of the Grand Prix now. Nothing's been happening in this Grand Prix. It is Monaco, so what you expect. But yeah, we've just been doing our own race, keeping a 7-second gap to Sebastian Vettel. And that's about it as we come through now Casino Square here. And we've got Bottas. Bottas has lost it in the back end of the Casino Square section. He spun around, and as you can see here, I couldn't quite get a full replay of what was going on, but it looks like he's had contact with Palmer, because Palmer is ghosted and has disappeared. So Palmer, and then he disappears there, and there's my Red Bull so close to making contact there with Valtteri Bottas, but unfortunately he has got a problem, and he's obviously made contact with Palmer. And that's horrible for Valtteri Bottas. And now we're up into 2nd place here. We've got some yellow flags now. The exit of the swimming pool chicane and the virtual safety car has been deployed in this Grand Prix. And it is for Valtteri Bottas, who's lost his front wing. So after the contact with Palmer, he's lost his front wing. He's gone too fast, and he's actually smacked the wall there, and he's out of the Grand Prix. And the virtual safety car has now ended, and we can get back racing here on lap 35 of the Grand Prix now. And after what's been a very quiet Monaco Grand Prix, things have completely taken off in this race now as we come in towards this Raskas corner now. And now making our way towards Anthony Notes here to start lap 36 of this Grand Prix. Hamilton leads this Grand Prix, myself in 2nd place, and as we come onto the start straight, now there's Lewis Hamilton. Actually, Hamilton's come out of the pits on lap 35, start 36, and we've snatched the lead of the Monaco Grand Prix. Why on earth has Lewis Hamilton come into the pits? I've got no idea. Ocon has snatched 3rd place from Sebastian Vettel. It is all happening here on lap 36 of the Grand Prix now. We've got a bad exit out to Anthony Notes corner, and we've got the DRS here on Marcus Ericsson trying to lap him here. Here comes Lewis Hamilton for an attack now in towards Sandoval. Will Hamilton make this one stick? No, we're going to break very late here into Sandoval, and we defend from Lewis Hamilton, and Marcus Ericsson now getting in the way here of this battle. Ericsson, just get out of the way, you slow Sauber, and we're through on him in towards Massenet now, and towards now Casino Square here. Hamilton's going to have to go side by side with Ericsson, but somehow we've got in front of everyone, and now after just trundling around in 3rd place, the 2 Mercedes cars have completely bottled it in this Grand Prix, and now we've got the chance to win here in Monaco. And as you can see, look at the run that Hamilton's got coming up the hill now, literally swarming the back of my car. car. It reminds me of Mansell versus Senna in 1992, with Mansell all over the back of Senna, and that's exactly what it reminds me of here in this race now, as we're catching up to one of the Haas cars. That is Romain Grosjean here. Lewis Hamilton all over the back of the car, and onto lap 39 now. Here is Romain Grosjean towards the back now. Romain, give me some room, thank you very much. And he holds up Lewis Hamilton crucially there, and this should be it then. Through towards the chicane. It's got to take it nice and easy now. And in towards Rascasse we go now for the last time here in this Monaco Grand Prix. Hamilton is still behind Grosjean, I think. He might have just got in front of him. Bad entries there into Anthony Node's corner. But after what's been a really quiet Grand Prix, it lit up in the final stages, and we have won the Monaco Grand Prix. And today, what has been clearly shown is that F1 has got a lot to do with driver skill, but you always need luck in Formula 1 if you're going to win a championship, and we have gotten hugely lucky here today. And I still couldn't believe it. The Bottas incident, I was shocked that Bottas was involved in a collision with one of the back markers, and then all of a sudden I saw Hamilton coming out of the pits, and I'm just like, hang on, why is Lewis Hamilton coming out of the pits? And as you can see here, celebrating the win, and you can see my new helmet actually. I don't think I've won ever since changing to my helmet. Or I may have skipped it, or you may have already seen it. Actually, you should have from the Spanish Grand Prix, but we've gone with the black and yellow themed helmet after I changed it from its silver and blue. So I changed it now. But as you can see then, onto the podium, you can see that it is myself, Lewis Hamilton, and Esteban Ocon. So problems for Sebastian Vettel has caused him to lose out on the podium, which is pretty disappointing there for him. But Ocon with a stunning podium here in Formula 1, and in true real life forms, I have no doubt that Ocon will be an absolute star in the years to come, and I can't wait to see him get into a really competitive car, into a top team, and go for it. Yeah. But as you can see then, extremely happy. But what I want to know is, why did Lewis Hamilton come into the pits? He's only made 2 pit stops, which means, and Vettel's also made another stop in there as well, which is interesting. But Hamilton was on had made 2 pit stops as Grosjean there with a penalty of 10 seconds. And when I saw Grosjean getting that penalty, that's actually when I went to go and find out what was the problem. So we're going to go over to the race director right now, and we're going to go to the instance here. You can see that I had 2 problems with track limits because I outbroke myself into the chicane. But as you can see here, Grosjean got loads of ignore and blue flags and got an stop and go penalty. But look at that, Lewis Hamilton sped under the virtual safety car that was caused by Bottas. That gave Hamilton the drive-through. So when we came across the line at the end of the virtual safety car and we saw Hamilton coming out of the pits, it wasn't because of another pit stop like I thought. He actually got a drive-through for speeding under the virtual safety car, so we got really lucky then. But guys, that is going to wrap it up for a crazy F1 2017 career mode video around here at Monaco. If you guys have enjoyed the video, please drop it a like, that'd be absolutely awesome. And if you are new around here as well and you enjoy the content that you are watching, feel free to click the subscribe button, that'd be absolutely awesome, and it helps out the channel massively. But until then guys, I will see you on Friday. Take care all, peace.